Alright, welcome back to Adventures with Vehicles. Today we are going to be putting new injectors in the 7.3 diesel. Show you what it takes to do it. Shouldn't take us too long. Hopefully these ones work. Our last set we ordered from the injector shop had 3 bad solenoids on them, which I don't know what was up with that, but hopefully they got us taken care of this time. And let's get to it. All right, the first thing you're going to want to do is pull out the old injectors and just toss them out of here. No, we don't need those no more. And then you just kind of toss the new ones back in. You should oil these up, lubricate them up. These ones have quite a bit of oil in them still, which I'm probably going to go on that. But on the tops of all these, you'll have a 8mm bolt here and an 8mm bolt here on the bottom. You'll want to remove the 8mm bolt first, slide this collar up, which I will show you later how to do that, and you take a pry bar and pry up on this part right here and pop that up out. Alright, right now we have all the injectors out, as you can see here. I got my vacuum pump, which you can hear there. I got a hose. When you pull your injectors out, you're going to have a little bit of oil and diesel fuel that runs down the cylinders, and that can cause damage if you try to start the engine. It may or may not hurt it, but I am going to go ahead and stick my vacuum pump down in here and try to get you some footage of that. So we're going to stick the vacuum pump down in the holes and back it out and show you what it takes to put these guys back in. Set my camera up hopefully where you can see. Oh, that's why we're going vacuum. Alright, I got you can see the oil coming out the line now. And it's going to go to my canister here. And you see that glob of stuff that came out? It looks like dirt or grime, or I don't know what the heck that is in front of that oil. That's one reason why you want to suck that stuff out of the cylinders. It could be a chunk of snow or whatever, because I'm doing this outside in the winter. So, as you can see, it's going to fill up that reservoir right there. Alright, I don't know if you can see that back there, but I have it going down to where the injector port goes through. I have to have all my injectors out, and I'm sucking all the oil out of there, because you don't want any extra oil inside there from where you, because these injectors fire off oil pressure. So when you pull the injector, you're going to get a little bit of diesel fuel and a little bit of oil down the cylinder. So I try to vac it out with the vac machine. They have handheld ones. They have, this one's an old school one that I use the handheld, old school pump style to vac it out. But since it's only like 28 degrees outside, that oil is as thick as molasses. So this is going to take some time to get this out. I could probably just crank the engine over and push this stuff out, but I'm not trying to sling oil all over everything. I already got a big enough mess. Alright, obviously you just put your injectors in the holes. Make sure you remove your rubber protective end that was on the end so it doesn't get stuck in the injector hole. Go ahead and put that back in. Usually you would oil these up, but these are already pre-oiled, so you can put Vaseline, motor oil, a little bit of assembly oil, whatever. But these ones are pretty oily, so I didn't bother with it. Just give them a little push. Push that down and put your bolts into the back. And then you're going to put all your oil diverters back on. On each one. On some of these I left the 8mm in the top back end. And then all you have to do is put the bottom bolt in. Some of them I took both out. You just want to make sure that all of them are tight before you go put any oil diverters on, which I already know these ones are already set down against the seat of the last thread on the bolt. So, and just continue all the way across. Alright, here is the injector harness and glow plug harness, the engine harness you can get from RIFF, RAFF, Diesel. I will put a link to where I ordered it from. They give you the option of putting in your serial number so you get the correct harness every time. They're fairly cheap. This appears to be an international harness from Ford. So hopefully it works well, unlike the other one that was falling apart and causing me to think that I had bad injectors when I did have some bad injectors, but I still had one injector that wasn't getting any signal at all between the injector control module and the injector. So I'm going to change this out and hopefully this solves my problem. Alright, here's the other harness I was talking about, where I cut the plug off and put a new one on, because the other one of these plugs, like this one here, is impregnated with oil. I don't know if you can see that or not. And when you buy a new valve cover gaskets, they will come with other plugs like these that you can cut it off and put a new one on. I just didn't like that idea, since the harness was already starting to be kind of ratty as it was already, and I just didn't like this plug here is impregnated with oil. That one's not. So I just decided to go ahead and change it out. I'd rather have it be new than be out of state somewhere with a trailer and have the truck say I'm not going to run. Have to fix it on the side of the road. So hopefully this fixes the issue, and hopefully this helps you out as well. Alright, back here behind the air box, I don't know if you can see that or not, where he's putting the wrench on there. There's a 10mm bolt that holds that main harness connection together. You'll have to remove that, remove the part of the air box there so you can see it a little better. My assistant Michael, you'll see him in a lot of videos.
Hello people.
And we are attempting to put this in and take it out. I mean, as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, everything runs exactly like it would for the factory, so it shouldn't be too hard, too difficult. Just get you a flathead screwdriver, a 10mm, and whatever it takes to remove anything to get out the way so you can get to it easily without breaking anything. And I would say this would probably take about half hour to 40 minutes tops to do. Alright, we got the injectors in, glow plugs plugged in, the new wiring harness put in, new valve covers. I vacuumed out the cylinders with a vac machine, but I also still pulled the glow plugs and cranked the engine over. That's why there's oil everywhere, because I wasn't quite getting it all out with the vac machine. I would just recommend you doing the glow plug trick, because that worked in like 2 seconds. Takes half as much time as what it does to try to vac it all out, so, and it's a better result. But now we're gonna cycle the glow plugs and see if she'll fire up. Hopefully it does. Wait for the weight engine light to go out. I'm short, so. Would have helped if I probably would have plugged the block warmer in. We'll let that cycle one more time just for good measures. Probably a bunch of air still in the system. Starting to get some of the air out. Better turn that battery charger on. It's been a while since I drove it. Cycle the glow plugs. Alright. Once we get the air out, because the high pressure oil pressure system has to build oil pressure, and so does the fueling system. So hopefully it fires this time. Alright, too short. Gotta climb up in the pig pen here. Boy. See if we're getting oil pressure when it cranks. I don't know why this thing's not wanting to fire. Cycle it one more time. Oh, there we go. Getting closer, getting the air out of the system. So you just got to be patient with it. Make sure your batteries are fully charged. Yeah. Do the good old cycle twice. There she goes. All the smoke coming out from oil. Alright, now I'm going to put the valve covers back on and hook the camera to the side of it and take it for a ride. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.